Here's a 1,000-word YouTube script for a review of the 2026 Mazda MX-5 Miata covering exterior, interior, performance, and pricing, written in a natural video narrative style. No headings. Today we're diving into one of the most beloved sports cars of all time, the 2026 Mazda MX-5 Miata, a car that has built its reputation on joy, balance, and driving purity. For decades the Miata has set the benchmark for what a small, lightweight roadster should feel like, and the 2026 model continues to honor that legacy while bringing in subtle refinements many fans have been waiting for. Car and driver plus one. Right from the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Miata, something about its proportions just feels right. It's compact, low to the ground, and unmistakably sporty. The exterior design stays true to the Miata's classic roadster shape with a long bonnet, short overhangs, and a taut stance that hints at the fun lurking underneath. The front fascia carries Mazda's latest design language, featuring sharp, expressive headlights and a grille that looks purposeful and ready for action. Over the years Mazda has always struck that perfect balance between elegance and aggression, and this model does it again without ever feeling overstyled or contrived. Cars direct. The sculpted side profile flows cleanly from the front, the fenders gently bulging to suggest the nimble handling that this car is known for. The way the light plays off the bodywork as you walk around it gives you that instant sense that this is something special, compact enough for city streets, but with a presence that feels ready for the open road. The rear is equally expressive, with sleek taillights and rounded edges that give it a classic roadster silhouette. Even small details like the dual exhaust tips and subtle rear bumper design show Mazda's commitment to both form and function rather than just flash. Cars direct. When you slide into the cockpit, the philosophy becomes even clearer. This car was built for the driver. The interior is snug, almost cocoon-like, but that's part of the appeal. You don't sit in a Miata, you become part of it. The seats hug you, the pedals and shifter sit in just the right place, and the steering wheel feels like an extension of your hands. The dashboard layout is simple and intuitive, prioritizing the things you actually need when you're engaged behind the wheel. Physical controls are easy to reach and easy to use, giving you tactile satisfaction rather than forcing you to navigate complex menus. Car and driver plus one. Although this car isn't loaded with luxury tech in the way an expensive Grand Tourer might be, what it does offer feels well chosen and purposeful. The central display is easy to glance at without taking your eyes off the road, and features like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and Bluetooth connectivity mean you won't miss out on everyday convenience. Storage space is minimal. This is, after all, a two-seat sports car, but there's enough room for the essentials, especially if you're planning a weekend adventure. The trunk isn't huge, but it's surprisingly practical given the car's size. Cars direct. One of the first things enthusiasts ask about with any Miata is performance, and here the 2026 model retains the characteristics that have made it a legend. Under the hood sits a naturally aspirated 2.0-liter four-cylinder engine that produces around 181 horsepower and 151 lb-ft of torque. Modest numbers on paper, but perfectly suited to the car's lightweight design and dynamic setup. Mazda has stuck with this formula because it works. The Miata has always been about balance rather than brute force. Car and driver plus one. Mazda gives you the choice of a 6-speed manual transmission or a 6-speed automatic. For purists, the manual gearbox is really where the Miata shines. The shifter is crisp and engaging, and the connection you feel through your hands and feet makes every shift satisfying. If you opt for the automatic, you still get quick, sporty shifts, but the manual just feels more alive and connected, especially on twisty backroads. Rear-wheel drive is standard, and the steering, light yet communicative, is one of the best in the business, giving you a sense of what's happening at each corner. Car and driver. On the road, the Miata's weight balance and suspension tuning are magic. It's playful without being nervous, eager in corners without feeling unpredictable, and capable of thrilling you even at speeds well below what the law allows. This is a car that makes everyday drives feel memorable. The ride is taut, but not punishing. You always feel connected to the road, never beaten up by it. And when you start pushing harder, the Miata just wants more corners, more road, more engagement. Car and driver. Fuel economy is another feather in the Miata's cap. Thanks to its light curb weight and efficient engine, it delivers numbers that are more than respectable for a sports car, around the mid-20s in city driving and mid-30s on the highway. That makes it more usable as a daily driver than you might expect from a vehicle with such a sporting pedigree. Car and driver. Of course, for many people the question comes down to value. How much will this little Roadster cost? While official global pricing for the 2026 model is still being announced in many markets, estimates suggest it will sit in a range that keeps it accessible compared to many sports car competitors, roughly in the ballpark of the previous model's range, which in some regions started in the low $30,000s and could push into the low $40,000s with options. Special versions and higher trims can command more, especially limited editions with unique features or aesthetic upgrade. Cars Direct Plus One. What makes the Miata so compelling at that price isn't just the performance or styling, it's the experience. You're not paying for a huge engine or a dizzying list of gadgets. You're paying for something that fundamentally feels alive when you drive it, and that's a rare quality in today's automotive world. A car that makes you want to take the long way home, that turns a boring road into a smile-inducing adventure, that feels like it's reacting to your thoughts. That's what the MX-5 Miata delivers. Consumer Reports. In the end, the 2026 Mazda MX-5 Miata isn't just another sports car. It's a reminder that driving doesn't have to be complicated to be thrilling. It's proof that a lightweight chassis, a responsive engine, a great gearbox, and sublime steering can still create something magical. Whether you're a longtime fan or this is your first real look at what a true roadster can be, the Miata still captures hearts, and for many, it still represents the purest form of driving enjoyment you can buy. Car and driver. If you want, I can tailor this script to a specific tone, e.g., more humorous, more technical, more cinematic, or format it with timestamps and voiceover cues.